All right, Jordan, as everybody knows around college football, spring's winding down, spring games are over, spring practice is done, and that infamous spring portal window has finally opened. It opened today, was the official day. Obviously, people have put in their names long before today, which they are able to do, but it officially opened today, so transfers can officially start going down today. Obviously, Clemson has lost now two players via the spring transfer portal. Tavoy Fegan ended up committing to Ole Miss today. And then obviously Caleb Nix, Bo Nix's brother,
Yes.
entered the portal today and is yet to find a landing spot. This is always an interesting time of year because you're anticipating how many guys are going to hit the portal. You start looking at the depth chart, how congested are certain rooms, what's playing time going to look like. And it's always an anxiety and also fun filled time, I think, in the spring portal because if you lose certain pieces, you got to go back into the portal and find somebody to replace them because there is no high school recruiting. But obviously, portal opened today, April 16th, and it closes April 25th, correct? 10 days.
Yeah.
I think I got that right. I think it closes April 25th, a 10-day portal window. Jordan, what's your thoughts on Clemson? Have any of I know we talked about Tavoy Fegan already, but does any of our two portal losses surprise you in any way? Do you think Dabo is looking in the portal for any specific position group? Do you think he'll go to the portal and add a piece or two? What do you think the spring portal window realistically looks like for the Tigers? And have we seen all the people that are going to leave, or do we anticipate a couple more people entering the transfer portal during this spring window?
Yeah. I as far as Savoy Vegan is concerned, we've talked about it. We talked about it last week. I mean, that did not come as a surprise to the staff. I don't think. Happy he found a home. Um, and I hope I wish him the best. But I definitely think the staff was prepared for this for a while. Um, so as where it stands right now, I don't expect Clemson to be portal shopping. They might be portal. I don't know. Browsing is probably not the right word. Kind of keeping an eye on it. Uh, I I don't think this is the last player to leave Clemson.
Yeah.
Uh, certainly, there certainly are reasons behind the scenes that I definitely think that you could be losing one or two more. But it's at the end of the day, I think the staff feels really good about where the roster is, and I don't think there's any pending departure that I think would really shake up kind of what their plans are as far as the roster is concerned. Um, I think the guys that you have on the roster want to be here for the most part,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to stay that way.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't anticipate this mass exodus from Clemson this spring. You also have to consider that we don't really know what the roster requirements are going to be come fall camp and the first game of the season, right? Does the house settlement go through and teams have to go down to the 105 or what happens with that? I'm sure that will influence some of Dabo's decision as well. It's kind of hard to plan when it's so uncertain. But I think Dabo made it pretty clear in his post spring game presser that he was pretty happy with where the team was. I think at that time he probably already knew, as we mentioned last week, that Tafoy Fegan was leaving. And although Caleb Nix is a loss via the transfer portal, no disrespect to him at all, I don't think that really affects the safety room whatsoever at Clemson. I think there's plenty of guys there that were ahead of him, and it doesn't really do anything other than there's one less guy on the roster, which if the roster is going to get cut, may not be such a bad thing, right? Getting down to that 105. So, I don't think you're going to see any big names entering the transfer portal, I guess is what I'm trying to say, from Clemson in the near future, or at least during this spring portal window. So I think our roster largely will look exactly like it looks today heading into fall camp.
Yeah, but 100%. But things can change. Obviously we could be just talking here next week and have our foot in our mouths, but I really don't anticipate it. Did you see Miami? Miami got gutted today. Cal and Miami had like one of the worst days I've ever seen.
Did they?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. I can't think of all the players that they lost, but I know Miami. They lost Nikar. They lost. No, Nikar was the receiver. They lost I think they lost a defensive line, an edge rusher, or an interior defensive lineman that they were expecting to be a contributor.
Josh Horton.
Yes.
Zaquan Patterson.
Forgot about him. Clemson was in on him in his recruitment.
Yeah. So they lost 2 defensive linemen, a wide receiver, and a safety today. 4 guys. That's tough. Yeah.
Cal lost 5 running backs or 4 running backs. I can't remember which one it was. Something crazy like that.
Let me see what they got.
And they lost. The big one was Jaden Knott, but like they lost like their entire
Byron Cardwell, Mason Sterling. Let's see, who else did they lose? Kadarius Callaway. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I think they had 5 scholarship running backs on the roster and lost 4 of them within the span of a couple of days.
No, hold up now. They might have lost more.
Did they lose 5?
Justin Williams Thomas. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
Dude. That's crazy, man. I've never seen an entire position room basically leave a school at one time.
I guess that speaks volumes. I guess I don't know what's going on there, but wow. Yeah. You'd think somebody would have stayed and been like, "Well, I'll just be the last one standing and get some playing time."
Yeah, like right.
But geez,
guess not. They didn't. Nobody wants to live in Berkeley, I guess.
I wouldn't want to. I don't know. That's just me. But anyways, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Cal getting hit hard, Miami getting hit hard. But again, I think Clemson is going to be okay when it comes to the spring portal. I'm not too terribly worried.
No,
not too terribly worried.
Somebody mentioned Branson Robinson earlier in the chat. Might have been John. Yeah, he entered the portal today. He named Clemson as one of the teams he was interested in. I don't have any reason to believe that Clemson is looking at
portal. Got no interest in it.
Yeah,
he's not bringing in a running back. I don't think so.
Yeah, no. It's a shame. I wanted Branson Robinson out of high school. Clemson wanted him really badly out of high school.
He's been hurt, man, like his whole time at Georgia, though. So yeah. I don't know if we need to bring in another injury-prone running back.
Yeah,
we got got some.
It doesn't seem to make sense. It wouldn't really make sense at this point. I mean, no. If they did go and get him, I wouldn't be upset by any means. Like, hey, that's more depth and honestly a guy that, if healthy and with time, could become a starting, star caliber running back. And, that's kind of what he was viewed as out of high school. One of the best high school running backs we had seen in the last several years.
Yeah.
Just really dominant tape. Dude is massive. Like nobody. I'm not tackling that guy.
Definitely
But
not.
that's just kind of not how it's played out for him over his career. He just couldn't stay healthy and was never really able to crack into the rotation the way that people expected him to when he was coming out of high school. So I don't know. I wouldn't expect Clemson to really entertain that, but and there certainly have been players, higher caliber players that have reached out to Clemson in the past that Clemson said no to when they felt good about where they were. So it would surprise me if they did it here.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be adding any running backs.